What's going on YouTube? This is Mark with Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I did. Thank God. We're still not 100%, but we are getting better. Today I want to do a show that is going to represent my tackle box that I use on the grass flats for the summer. What are the weapons in my arsenal? What type of lures am I using? How am I using them? And when am I using them? So that's what today's show is going to involve. I'm going to show you the different types of lures that I'm using, the ones that are working right now, and the ones that are going to be working over here in the next couple of months. But before we do that, I want to thank everyone for subscribing, liking, and sharing, and being part of the Waist Deep Wade Fishing family here in Southwest Florida. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing going. So we've got two boxes here. I've got one medium-sized box, and no, I'm not affiliated with Fun. It's just a cool sticker. So that's one box, and then we have another box. So first we're going to start off with the plugs, Topwaters. The main Topwaters that I'm going to be using in the summertime. I'm talking 6:45, 7:15 a.m., low wind, low visibility. This is what I'm going to be using. So the first set, of course we have our She-Dog Glow, high pitch. Fantastic lure in most situations. Most fish will hit it, especially if you have that greenish, cloudy water, not 100% clear, but still decent visibility. Perfect lure to use in low light conditions. Now, if you're working water in the backcountry that has been tannic from the rainfall and from some of the foliage that is have fallen, into the water and of course made the water tannic, then this is a fantastic lure to use right here. It's a chartreuse back with a gold bottom with a red head. It's actually a custom She-Dog, again, high pitch. Okay, low visibility water, high pitch calls the fish in. And then last but not least, and you see a lot of fish and a lot of activity in the water, and there's some bigger bait around, nothing is going to beat this chrome and blue She-Dog. Okay, now this isn't the She-Pup, this is the actual She-Dog. It's a deeper pitch and it's a bigger bait, as you can see. Silver on the bottom, aqua blue on the top. Fantastic. And then last but not least, I have two more plugs that I will use. If they're being picky and they're after a smaller bait and the water isn't so turned up, well then I'm going to go ahead and go with the Hedon Spook Junior with the chartreuse head, and this is going to be used in a fairly clear water. I mean, you can use it in dirty water as well, but it has a lower knock. It's not as loud. It's got a skinnier profile. It looks more like a mullet fingerling. It's a smaller. It's made to look like a smaller bait fish. If they won't hit something that's so thick and large, if they're not after those bigger mullet. And then last but not least, if all else fails, we also have the Rapala Skidder V. Now this it just has a medium pitch, but it has a tighter walk because of that V hole. So that sums up our Topwaters. So moving on from Topwater, we're going to go right into Subsurface, and they're some of my favorites. They're world-renowned trout lures in Texas, and I absolutely love them. Okay, these are the Pole Brown Corgis. Okay, Now, what makes these different, number one, they have this big dominant eye. They're excellent for trout in the winter. I do catch a lot of trout in the summer, but the trout have to be biting because this is a slow sinking bait. Okay, it's got a cork built inside, therefore the name corky. And the outside is actually soft. Okay, so when a fish, a trout, a redfish, a snook latches on, he's not biting into something hard. It's actually soft and it's flexible. I like to go ahead and configure mine with a little bend at the end here. Okay, right at the end to give it that little down, but you gotta make sure it's straight. And that helps it when you're basically casting and pop, and then letting it fall. This bait will fall about, I'm gonna say 6 to 8 inches a second. So that's one of the colors that I like to use. That is the chartreuse bottom, the purple top, and the silver side. And then I also like to use the gold side in tannic water. I like to use the gold side with the black top with the orange bottom. So these two are the two corkies that I prefer to use in the summertime, and they're fantastic. I do have another color. Matter of fact, I have a video coming out. If you stay tuned, where you'll actually see me catch one on one of the white corkies, aka the Paul Browns. So that is that for the plug box. As far as Topwater and Subsurface. So now I have a couple of the sinking lures that I do use that we're going to talk about briefly. Number one, we're going to go to the spoons. There's 4 different spoons I like to use in 4 different situations. They're all made by Aquadream. They're fantastic, the best spoons out there, period. This color I'll use in the backcountry when the water is tannic. Okay, it's more of a copperish, same principle. It does have a weed guard on it. Low light conditions, fantastic. Rolling it through the grass in the backcountry gets them every time. If you're working around potholes with grass, which with a little bit of clarity, it doesn't have to be 100% clear because in the summertime the water's never clear. But if it's not tannic and it's green water and you have sandy bottom or sand potholes with grass around, and there's some snook in the area, nothing beats this lure. Nothing beats this white Aquadream spoon. Okay, in that particular situation. Next, this is just a regular go-to. Most of our bait is silver, and if you can see that there's a lot of silver flashes in the water, if you're walking a flat and you're noticing and seeing silver flashes around, this particular lure, because it has a red head to it, looks like an injured threadfin, injured white bait, injured pilchard. This is just another one that we like to use. It's fantastic. Again, all made by Aquadream. And then last but not least, Old Faithful. If all else fails, and you can't get a redfish to bite, and everything that you've thrown didn't work, the gold spoon. Nothing beats the old gold spoon, throwing it over the potholes, in the grass, or near the mangroves on an incoming tide. Now, as far as sinking plugs, I've got 3 more that I use on a regular basis. This is fairly new by Mirror Lure. It's the Skin series. It's the Mirror Mullet. It's fantastic. It looks exactly like a mullet fingerling. And it sinks at a rate at about I don't know, between 4 and 6 inches every second. So you cast this out. If you see mullet in the area, or you know of an area where there are mullet working, nothing beats this lure right now in the summertime. It looks exactly like a mullet, okay? Got a little rattle in it. And again, it's a sinking lure. So if you have grass, cast it, count it off, 1, 2, 3, 4, twitch, twitch, pause. Twitch, 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 pause. Twitch, pause. Find out which cadence works for you. But that's another weapon in my arsenal, the mirror mullet. And then last but not least, if the fish are picky and there's no large bait around in the area, then we go to the smallest of the sinking baits. This is a heavy dean, and this is a silver side. It's kind of got folds in the foil inside of the bait, so it reflects light with the red head to make it look wounded. And this will sink at about 5 to 8 inches per second, and that is the Mirror Lure Heavy Dean. And that about sums it up for my plug selection. I mean, you guys have already seen my soft plastics and you know how I use my soft plastics, what colors I use, the jig heads I use, so forth and such. So I'm not going to go into that. There's a video on that. You can look in my file and find out what types of soft plastic and jig heads I like to use. But last but not least, the equipment I used to carry all this, and I just purchased this not too long ago. This is a Piscifun. Again, I'm not sponsored by this company, nor am I getting paid by it. I like the product. I paid $40 for it. It's a fantastic wade fishing pack. It comes with a million different compartments. I mean, you got your spot for your pliers right here on the side, and it's a sling. So basically what you do, you put it on like this, okay? Set it up, done, ready to go. It's on the middle of your bag. And the great thing about that sling is, while you're in the water, if you want to change a lure, okay, flip the bag around like so, okay? It rests on your chest. There's a holder right here. You can stick your rod into it. You have your little section right here, your pliers to take the hook out of the fish, right on your chest, and access to all of your lures with one zip. And that's it. That is all. That's all she wrote. Get yourself a good pair of polarized glasses so you can see where the fish are sitting, and get out on the flats. That's the equipment I use. That's the equipment that helps me catch the fish I catch. And that would consist of the big three, plus one. That would be snook, redfish, sea trout, and an occasional tarpon here and there. So again, my name is Mark. This is Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for and sharing. Stay tuned. There's going to be more videos to come. God bless. And let's keep this thing going as long as we possibly can. And thank you for being a part of the Waist Deep Wade Fishing Southwest Florida family. Hats off to you all, and I'll see you on the next video. One love. Get out there and get yourself a yellowmouth.